Moving up and down. You'll want your player sprite to move up and down as well. Do this. For this level, you'll still be writing code inside the move player function. Okay, let's find that. Move player. Okay. Use an if block along with the key down to detect when the up arrow is pressed. Use sprite.y to make the player go up by 3 using the counter pattern. Okay, so this is just the same thing as the last level. Okay. I'm going to copy this code again. Okay, my cursor went there. It's my lucky day. So we want this to say up. And I'm going to go into show text to change these X's to Y's. And I think we can keep the -3 because I think that will make it go up. Alright, and now we want to make it go down. So let's see. Highlight this, then click underneath it. And yes, my cursor came there. So I'm going to do that. Change this to down. And now we need to change these X's to Y's and also change this minus to plus. Alright, let's see. Yes, this is working. Excellent. Test your code. I tested it. Change player animations. Right now, your player is always facing the same direction. You can make things look a lot more realistic by switching between animations. Your player should switch between a left-facing and right-facing animation, depending on which key was last pressed. Remember, you can quickly copy and edit animations inside the Animation tab. Do this. Inside the Animation tab, copy the animation of your player sprite. So here is the Animation tab. Copy the animation of your player sprite. Okay, I think they mean duplicate it. And this is alien walk right, so let's just duplicate it and make it alien walk left. And since we want it to be alien walk left, we're going to click on this and flip vertically. And I think that's what the directions are going to ask us to do. Flip each frame of the new animation so the sprite is facing in the opposite direction. Rename your new animation. We did that. Animal or alien walk left. Use the set animation command inside the move player function so that the player changes the direction it is facing when the left and right arrows are pressed. Okay. So if key down right, set animation, player, set animation, alien walk right. And if key down left, player, set animation, alien walk left. And I think that should work. So let's run it and see. Yep, it's changing. It's looking left and right. Alright, very cool. Displace enemies. It's time to write code for some more sprite interactions. Your player sprite should displace the enemy sprites. Do this. For this level, you'll be writing code inside the displace enemies function. Let's find that function. Displace enemies. Write code that makes player displace both enemy sprites. Test your program to make sure your player is displacing enemies, but they keep moving right after the player moves away. Hint, you can use sprite.debug to see if your sprite or to see your sprite's colliders if you need to debug your program. Okay, displace enemies. So we're going to need sprite.displace. Are we going to need an if statement? If is touching, I think so. But let's try it without the if statement first. Displace player displace enemy 1. Player displace enemy 2. Let's see what happens here. Okay, cool. Very well then. Yep. And yep, we're good. Only one bug came back though. Why is that? Ah, because it didn't touch the cake. Okay. Alright, that's fine. We're probably gonna fix that later. Touching the water. The last part of the game that you'll need to write is the code to reset the sprites when they touch the water. Luckily, you should have already written functions that reset each sprite, so you'll just need a good way to know when either sprite leaves the bridge. Start by writing the code for a single enemy, and then copy and paste and make small changes to create code for your second enemy. Do this. For this level, you'll be writing code inside the enemies touch water function. That should be all the way at the bottom. Oh. Okay, enemies touch water right here. Use an if statement to check whether enemy 1 is off the top of the bridge by checking whether its Y value is below 140. Okay, if statement. If enemy 1.y is less than 140. Okay, we're going to need some math, actually. Here is the less than operator. And inside that, we're going to put if sprite.y enemy 1.y less than 140. Then we're going to put in the function set enemy 1. This is why functions make it easier. We don't have to put in all that code again. Set enemy 1. Add 1 to the score. Okay. So we're also going to need to do score equals score plus 1. Score equals score plus 1. Okay. Oh, whoops. Use an if statement to check whether enemy 1 is off the bottom of the bridge by checking whether its Y value is above 260. Alright, so we're going to be doing the same thing here. Yeah, another if statement, so that should be fine. Alright, cool. My cursor went beneath it, so I'll just copy and paste. But here, we want to change the enemy 1 to enemy 2. Oh wait, no, we don't want to do that yet. Excuse me. What we want to do is we want to change this from less than to greater than. And we want it to be 260 instead of 140. 260. Cool. Add 1 to the score. Test your program for the first enemy sprite. Make sure the sprite is resetting and the score goes up. Alright, let's push these into the water. Okay, yeah, so this ladybug is working, but the other one isn't. And as you can see, the score went up. Once it is working, copy and paste the code you wrote to create the same behavior for enemy 2. You'll need to change the name of the sprite and the name of the functions you use. So all we're doing is copying and pasting both of those if statements. Be careful, you only want to copy the if statements. So I'm going to click down here, my cursor went there. I'm getting the hang of this. Alright, so for the third and fourth if statements, all we're going to do is we're going to change enemy 1 to enemy 2, including in the function. Okay, and now everything should work. Why didn't my score go up? Oh, now it did. Okay. All right. Yep, we're good. Okay, make it your own. You just walked through someone else's plan for creating a game. So now it's time to make it your own. What additional features or challenges do you want to create? Do this. Select one of the challenges below to add to the game or come up with a challenge of your own. You can change the visuals of the game so that your player, enemies, or cake look different. You can end the game with when the enemies get to the cake and print the score. For an extra challenge, end the game only after 3 enemies get through. Ooh, that's a good one. Randomize the speed of the enemies. Create a new background that shows up when the players reach a high score. Please try and do one of those.